Hello, this is Horror Studio 1, and this is my unedited podcast. Hello, this is Horror Studio 1, and this is my unedited podcast. And actually, just on my computer, I got a message saying that my disk space is almost full. It's understandable because from the time I started YouTube till now, I have yet to use or delete. I've yet to delete a single video or any music that I have used or any thumbnails I have used. So it's understandable that even though my MacBook is brand new, it's getting pretty full right now with everything. I have like 100-something videos. Actually, which I didn't talk about before, was I actually passed my 100 video mark and I didn't do shit about it. And I think the 100 video that I did was Craven video, but I kind of just forgot about it, so I didn't make it a thing. So yeah, it's my 100 video. I'm on 100 and something right now. I'm pretty happy about that. I just started a couple of months ago, and yeah, it's been 100 videos, guys. Think about the amount of work I've had to do in a couple of months, do 100 videos, and each and every one, the majority of them being longer than 10 minutes. I'm pretty proud of myself and the work I've done. I think in my whole life I've never actually tried so diligently or at something, you know. I mean, I always went to school and stuff like that. I did some sports and all that kind of stuff, but I've never actually delved myself into something so deep and been so persistent at something, you know, despite with there being results or having no results. It's just something that I love to do, and that's why I come back and I do it every single day. I know that my horror channel, Horror Studio 1, has a lot more videos out than most other horror YouTubers, you know. A lot of those guys put all their stuff into one video, but I like to keep uploads consistent and a variety of them as well. So, you know, I will obviously have more uploads. For those that have subscribed to me for a long time, maybe I apologize if it seemed like I may be spamming your subscriptions thing. I'm not trying to do that. Everything I share with you guys is from the heart, and I work hard on it, and it's, yeah, it means a lot to me that you guys are still here, and I've made over 100 videos, and there's some people that are here that were here from the very start, from when I had 10 or when I had under 100 subscribers, and I want to thank those guys and all the new people as well for coming in and joining this family of people who love the horror, supernatural, and unusual things in this world. So yeah, just one thing before starting the topic of the day is I actually thought about how nice it would be if, you know, all my hard work was recognized or stuff like that. Or if you can become a full-time YouTuber, wouldn't that be an awesome job? I mean, with the money I'm making off my channel right now, there's probably no way I can fully support myself as a, you know, as an adult in society, in this world, kind of thing. But as someone who's, you know, still has school and counts this as a part-time, kind of like a part-time income, it's not bad. It's not bad. So it's like a part-time income kind of thing. Hopefully one day I'll get to a full-time income, and then maybe I'll just do that for the rest of my life. Who fucking knows? I mean, that would be awesome, right? You look at a lot of people, they just sit in their rooms, and despite it being hard work, it is probably a lot less hard work than some manual labor stuff that people have to do to make a living. So, you know, if the opportunity presents itself, I wouldn't mind doing a full-time thing with this. It's not a bad idea. So hopefully one day it'll work out for me. And for those, I know I've inspired a bunch of people who have messaged me personally, either on Facebook, despite the fact that I'm really slow or not really even replying to messages on Facebook. I know I suck at that stuff. I will get to it soon. I apologize for those individuals who have messaged me from weeks back and I still haven't gotten to you. If you want a story, if you want me to immediately or as soon as possible reply to, do the Gmail account. Just stuff has a lot of stuff have been happening. I do have a lot of videos up. It means a lot of people are messaging me a lot of the time, so it's hard to get back to every single one of you, but I will try harder, especially come the school year, to reply those messages on Facebook and that my email. See, that's why I don't understand how people with like Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all that kind of stuff, they have like a million social medias. How the fuck do they manage to reply to every single one so diligently? I don't know how they manage to do that. Those guys are like superheroes to me. Maybe I'm just not into that culture much. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to get back into it and stuff. I mean, but I guess that's kind of why not every, you guys are saying that every YouTuber can reply to every comment. Before I thought that was kind of like, no, I'm gonna try to reply to everything. But as times goes on and you have more content out and you have a lot of stuff going on and people commenting on different videos at different times, to reply to every single one does become a very hard task. It eventually becomes burdening to a point, you know, to try. Like I set that goal for myself before. I promised myself that because you guys support me and you guys take the time to comment on my videos, that I will try to reply to every single comment. But right now it's like there's like a mountain of them every day, and it's like I try to reply to as much as I can, especially in the newer videos, but some of the older ones, it's hard for me to reply to every single one, and I apologize for not being able to do that. But you know, I'll try a bit harder, and maybe I can. I doubt that I'll be able to reply to every single one like I used to be able to, because obviously there wasn't as many viewers and, you know, not a lot of subscribers. And the ones that I saw, it wasn't like a whole 5 pages of messages that, you know, that I had to reply to. So just I will try to get back to that, and maybe one day I will become a full-time YouTuber. Who knows, you know? That would be pretty awesome, though, you know, just doing the stuff I love and making money out of it. So yeah, with your continued support, guys, I think that I will be able to do that. I have confidence in myself, and I have confidence in you, and I definitely have the most confidence in Horror Studio 1, my channel, because I've only started this a couple of months, and it's expanded to a level that I never anticipated, to be honest. Back when I thought about 10,000 subscribers, it was such an enormous number to me that I never thought that it was possible for me to get it. Like, I saw it for other YouTubers. I thought there was like a secret recipe, a secret club behind all that kind of stuff, but I guess it's just hard work / persistence, you know, and just putting yourself out there that you will be able to do that. Just find your passion and go for it, and you will be able to do that. I believe that for everyone. And some of my friends that I know personally, actually, they see what I've done, and I show them, and they said that they wanted to start a YouTube channel, maybe of their own interest, whether it's makeup or graphic design or, you know, video games or anything like that. And I tell them all the time, I'm like, yeah, just work hard at it and you will be able to do it. And I tell them, I'm like, start now, because once you get starting and you're at that level where you're growing, you'll regret that you didn't start earlier. Because if I had started YouTube 1 year prior to this, when I was a bit younger, the growth, I would be at a lot more subscribers now than I am at right now, because I would have 1 year's leap ahead of time, right? I know it's not good to look back and, you know, regret your life, but I'm just saying, if you want to do it, don't hesitate, because one day you'll look back and wish you had started before the point where you had started, and that you were too afraid to do that through your own insecurity or just overall being lazy kind of thing. So that's what I tell people that ask me what my opinions are. I am by no means a authority of YouTube just because I have 10,000 subscribers. There's a ton of people with a lot more subscribers with a lot of better content than me, to be honest. I talk to a microphone, for God's sakes. You know, I talk to a microphone and I read scary stories. There's people like Smosh who produces amazing content with stories, with, you know, effects, with actors and actresses and filming and directing, and those guys should be those guys deserve the fame and success that they do. They have their own feature film coming up, so, you know, that it makes sense for them to be that popular. So but I will try harder as well with what I have, and hopefully one day I'll expand my channel. Maybe I'll do a music channel, because I like music a lot. Just for those guys that don't know about that, I do love music a lot. So yeah, anyways, enough of that, talking about YouTube. The topic of today is actually pretty interesting, and it's something I've known for a long time and I wanted to talk about. I've done I've just been really crazed about this topic because I've always found it super interesting, but I've watched a lot of videos and documentaries and read a lot of articles on it as well, and it is face reading, more specifically Chinese face reading. So what is face reading? Basically, according to the Chinese, you can basically tell someone's fortune or someone's personality or how they're going to do in life just by looking at their face, just by their appearance. It's really deep. It's not just there's some general ones which I'm going to go through with you guys, and then I'm going to get into some things that are a bit deeper and are a lot harder to find. For those individuals who don't know much about face reading, you guys will probably just know that, the common thing is if you have, if your eyes are big, you're gonna be a emotional person. That's basically the most famous one or something. Or if your nose is big, you're gonna attract a lot of wealth, kind of thing. But there's a lot of deeper stuff that goes into it, like they look at your ears, the shape of your ears, the amount of moles you have on your face, and each one represents a year and a date and an age for that person as well. So I'm just going to talk a bit about that. I am by no way an authority on this, but I just find it very interesting, and I'll share my own thoughts on it. So what is face reading? Face reading is basically telling someone's fortune or their personality through their face. And the Chinese have done this in very much detail, as if you guys go online, you guys will see that an entire person's face can be mapped out by a single by every spot represents an age for that individual, basically. And one of the most popular the starting ones that a lot of people miss, especially those that don't know a lot about face reading, is the forehead. Now, what's so significant about the forehead? The forehead actually basically represents a person's luck or their fortune before they're 30 years old. So the moment you were born till you hit the age of 30, all of that can be told in your forehead. Basically, for those individuals who are good in school, who come from a good background, or are easily going to become successful in their 20s or before they turn 30, all those individuals have something in common regarding their forehead. Their forehead will usually be very broad and very high. So if you look at a lot of celebrities that became super popular before the age of 30, Justin Bieber or some of those guys, you will see that their foreheads are definitely very high and very broad, and because it's Chinese face reading. So I mean, maybe a lot of Caucasian individuals will have very broad foreheads no matter what, but if it's just the way that it goes, that the individuals who reach early success will have very high foreheads, or very thick foreheads, kind of thing. Like, there's gonna be a lot of meat there, a lot of fat up there. It won't be very narrow or very thin or nothing like that. And the same goes for those individuals who come from a good or privileged background. You will see that their forehead basically is a lot higher as well. Or those that are good in school, it will have a higher and broader forehead. Some people say that the forehead actually represents intelligence as well. For those individuals with protruding foreheads, actually, it has been said that that is actually not a sign of intelligence. It actually means that the person thinks slower, is a slow thinker. Yeah, you would think that, if their head was like fucking E.T. or some shit and their forehead was protruding, that person would be, smarter. But no, the fact Chinese face reading, if you look at someone's profile and their forehead is sticking out, it means that person has a pretty slow mind. So the best kind of forehead would be just broad, wide, and shiny. So that's the kind of the best forehead, because that represents how your life will be before you turn 30, basically. And once you reach the age of 30 is where you hit your eyebrows. So according to Chinese face reading, your eyebrows is basically, aside from representing how your life will be around the time when you're 31, 32, till you're 35, it's also how your relationship is with people, like your parents and stuff like that. So for those individuals with very... If you see some people's, their eyebrows are very bushy or whatnot, usually for those individuals, the relationship they have with other people, their peers or brothers, sisters, it won't be as good. If their eyebrows are very smooth and they grow on a line kind of thing, and it's very obvious that it's very, it's like one line, there's no break, there's nothing like that, no scars, nothing on there. basically that means that person has good relationships with friends, with peers, and that their friends are able to help them in their success or in their life kind of thing. And it's interesting too, because according to the Chinese face reading, if the hairs on your eyebrows are grown like upward, you'll be a happy person. But if they are growing downwards, then you'll be more of a negative or down, or basically a more negative type of individual. So yeah, that's what they say as well. And of course, it represents your time during that age. And it's probably your left one represents your relationship with your father, and the right one represents the relationship with your mother. And same with ears as well. The left ear is your father, the right ear is your mother. And I'm pretty sure that's how it is. If it's not, guys, correct me. Also, the left ear is how you were when you were before you're 30, and the right ear is the rest of your life. So you better as well hope that your right ear looks better than your left ear, or else you'll be really good until you turn 30, and then your life will go really bad once you hit 30 until you die. But no, yeah, that's what they say. The ears are more important than your face, because the ears can tell a lot more. The ears are really complicated. Different types of ears show different types of people, but basically for ears, the good thing to have is that your ears have to be preferably whiter than your face, or that the best thing is that the tip of your ear on the very top has to be above your brows. If you see some of your friends and the tip of their ear is above their brow and it goes up to the flat line from the tip of their ear, and that is above where their brow is, that person will be a smarter thinker, basically. For those individuals with an ear that's lower than their eyebrows, they're actually not as intelligent. According to the thing. I mean, my ears are above my eyebrows, so fuck, I'm gonna believe that, all right? So yeah, there's ears, and then there's eyes. So eyes is basically in your 40s, around there. They have a really important, a vital aspect in face reading, in Chinese face reading, that regarding the eyes, it has to have fire, it has to look fierce. Now, I'm not saying it has to look like you're gonna go and rape somebody, but basically it has to have like a sense of purpose kind of thing. So for those individuals with eyes that are either too small, or that are wandering eyes, or too big, or just the pupil is really small and you kind of don't know where the focus is, for those individuals, it's like they haven't gained a direction in life, and that during that time of their life, they won't have as much success as individuals with, let's say, maybe bigger eyes. It doesn't have to be big, but it just has to look like it has purpose. I don't know, it's really hard to explain. You guys can search it up as well, but same goes for, the most easiest one is if you have big eyes, you're more expressive, which is, they say is true as well. If you have bigger eyes, you will be more accepting of things around you, and you will be more easily distracted as well. And if you have smaller eyes, you will be more concentrated, and you'll be more you will concentrate better on things, and you'll be more of a you'll more have a specialty on various different things, on the thing you're concentrated on, but also it means you're more secretive as a person as well. So they talk a bit about that. And the most important one, besides the eyes, I feel it's really important because it represents your career, is the nose. Now for the nose, the best type of nose they have is obviously, it has to be big. Because it represents wealth and basically your career and how you do. For those people with it doesn't have to be big, but it has to have a high nose bridge, basically. So, I mean, this isn't a Chinese face reading thing. So, I mean, in China, how many people have really high nose bridge? I mean, if you look at the typical, stereotypical Chinese person, like, they're gonna have a lower nose bridge, to be honest. So, they really love the fact that people have a higher nose bridge, and that it represents your career. You're going to be good at what you do. You're going to ascend to a high level of a high position in the company you're going with and stuff like that. And the broader the nose, the more money or the more financial stability you're going to have. So if your nose looks like Jackie Chan's nose, then you're pretty much set for life, because that's a lot of money and wealth. It's basically representation of wealth. And some stereotypes with other cultures as well, saying that bigger noses equals those people are richer. I don't know how true that is. Hey, but there's kind of like a coincidence with that. Jackie Chan, rich guy. I don't know. But yeah, just it has to be broad, and it can't be too low, because that means that you have no confidence. But of course, too big or too high of a nose means that you're overconfident and you're self-concentrated and you're really, you're kind of egotistical. But I mean, I guess that's how career-driven minded people are, I guess. I don't know. So nose is really important, and it represents how you are when you're middle age. So I guess when you're late 40s to around 50. So that's kind of, if you have a good nose, that's when you start raking in the cash kind of thing. So I guess my YouTube career is, I'm going to have to wait till I'm like 50 to start making money. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I've always looked at my face, and I've always kind of like been pretty interested in that as well. Anyways, so the next one after that is actually your mouth. So mouth and teeth, actually. So mouth is really important, as it, of course, being the fact that how you talk. If your teeth are revealing, as in you have buck teeth, you will often say things that get you in trouble. Basically, that's what they say. You'll get in trouble, and your techniques, your techniques of persuasion or of talking won't be, or conversational, techniques won't be as good if you have buck teeth. But if your teeth are straight and they're long, and if you do like a smile and they're able to close tightly, it means that you have better technique while speaking. So you can be a salesman, you can do that kind of stuff. If you have buck teeth, then most likely, even though you would love to talk a lot and you're an extroverted person, you will sometimes fuck up when you're talking. So you may not want to be a salesman. Maybe be a talk show host like me. Talk a lot. But I don't have buck teeth, though. I don't have buck teeth. You guys don't know what I look like, but I can promise you guys that. And for the lips, they say that the top lip of an individual is your emotions, while the bottom lip is your desires, kind of thing. So if you guys will notice, next time you see, maybe you walk on the street or you see your friends, you notice this fact. A lot of girls usually will have a thicker top lip, as opposed to a thicker bottom lip, because they're more emotional creatures. And typically for men, for boys, they will have a thicker lower lip, means that their desires, aka sexual desires, are stronger than their emotions. So you'll be able to see the difference there. But if you, of course, you see a girl, like Angelina Jolie, who has both thick top and bottom lip, they'll basically be emotional, and they'll be very into much sexual desire as well. So if you find a girl like that, I guess you're pretty lucky. Anyways, and the next thing you got to know is the chin. And the chin is really important as a good, those good chins that people have, like those just really good ones, Who's that guy with that good chin? Or like a cleft on your chin or whatnot means that the rest of your life till you die, so your senior years will be good. You'll have wealth left over, and you'll live a comfortable life, basically. For those individuals, sadly, who don't have who have more like maybe a receding chin or stuff like that, people suggest that they save more money, because those years they might end up, it won't be as good as if they had a fuller or better chin. But a good way to counteract and make sure that the rest of your life, even though if you have a weak chin, they said a good way to make sure that the rest of your life, the end of your life, your senior years are good, is if you gain weight. So if you're able to gain weight and your cheeks are puffy, then basically that, cancels out the weak chin for you, and it still gives you that comfortable lifestyle as you go older as well. So for those individuals with receding chins, don't worry. For those individuals with a good, a strong chin or strong jaw or something like that, you guys are pretty much set. You guys know that at the end of your life, nothing really bad is gonna happen to you. So yep, that is just I know I've talked for a while. That seems to be a lot of material to cover. There's a lot more. There's stuff that goes like, if there's a particular mole on your face, it's going to really affect your life when you're 56. If there's a mole on your lower cheek, that's when you're 56, and then during that time you're going to hurt your leg or something. Like, it gets to really specific. These guys are really awesome, and either of you believe it or not, I just think it's really interesting that, because they said that the Chinese face reading was done so many years ago, they only read the faces of Chinese people. So I guess in those times, for a Chinese person to have a really strong jaw or a really high nose bridge, it wasn't as easy, you know, as if you look at a Western society, right? A lot of white people have a really strong jaw or have a really high nose bridge kind of thing. So it's more common. So they take that into account as well. And they were saying that in some Middle Eastern countries, you know, their eyebrows are always going to be more bushy. You know, does that mean that their relationships with family is always going to be bad? Every single person in that country has bad relationships with their dad and mom? No, it doesn't mean that. They take into account the cultural aspects of it, that as well. And the same if you look at, you know, some individuals, some races with, let's say, bigger noses. Everyone has a big nose there. Does that mean everyone is going to be rich, equally as rich, because they have the size of their nose? Is the size of the nose gonna be, oh man, your nose is like 13 inches, it's gonna, you're gonna make $1 billion. That kid with 10 inches, he's only gonna make 25 million. No, I don't think it's like that. But it just takes, that's what you got to take into that cultural aspect of it as well, because this is Chinese face reading. So back in the day, I guess, when a lot of people were farmers, their faces weren't as, it didn't have the as many characteristics as, you know, some people have. I mean, if you look at China now, there's a lot of really Western looking, you know, people there, people with high noses, strong jaws, big eyes kind of thing. And I mean, look at the Korea, man. Everyone looks like they had plastic surgery there. So, I mean, does that mean every one of those people is going to be super rich and super famous? I doubt it. This is just one way of telling your future. It's telling your fortune. I personally had it done to me before by somebody. I didn't believe what they were saying. Granted, I still on some level strongly believe this stuff because I find it interesting that I can tell my fortune through my face kind of thing. So I'm actually getting a knock on my door, but I'm doing a live video podcast right now, so I'm going to tell my person at my door what's going on. I'm actually doing live right now, so
are you?
Yeah. I'm actually live right now. Oh shit. All right, so that was really funny. I was supposed to end it. All right, I love people in my house, so thank you so much, guys. What I was get back on track. So you know, regardless of what people say, what people think, I just think it's one way of interpreting the world we live in. And even if you believe it or not, hey, go check it out. I think it's pretty fucking interesting, right? A mole can tell you how you are when you're 56. Like, I've seen people do this, like the really fucking good ones, and they're like fortune tellers telling into the future, you know, how you will be in 2056. Some shit like that. Think about that. Anyways, the reason that person knocked my door was asking me if I wanted to use my car. I knew it because my face says today's gonna be a bad day for recording videos. Thank God I'm recording a podcast and not a creepypasta, or else I would have had to cut and start it all over. Anyways, thank you so much, guys, for listening. Horror Studio 1 fucked up again. And yeah, hope to hear from you. I keep saying that. Hope to see your comment soon. Hope to hear from me soon, I guess. Thank you so much, guys. Gotta get going now. Bye. See ya.